My boys said, "Mom, you and Dad had such a unique love story. We really wanted you to share it." So I agreed. I originally came from Canada. At that time, I was working in Calgary, Alberta for Shell Oil. January was extremely cold in Calgary with snow blizzards lasting days, so a group of us girls, in fact, still remember the number, there was 88 of us, decided to charter a flight and fly to Hawaii for a vacation. I met Darrell the second day I was there. He was a blind date that my roommate arranged. He told me he was in the Navy, stationed in Hawaii for over 3 years now. Their ship had just gotten back from his third tour in Vietnam. He seemed pretty nice, very handsome and quiet. We dated every night for the next 14 days. My 3 girlfriends also met military guys that they liked, so we all just hung around together. On their days off, they would rent 2 vehicles and we would tour the island. I'm sure we toured every mile of the beautiful island of Oahu. Every night before he had to report aboard ship, we would walk along Waikiki Beach, just the 2 of us. I remember the moon being beautiful over the ocean. It was so romantic. Before we knew it, our 15 days were up and the wonderful vacation coming to an end. Our flight was leaving late evening, so the last day the guys took us all to a luau. It was a big deal to get to go to one. All kinds of seafood. I especially remember all kinds of tropical fresh fruit in huge bowls. They had hula dancers and other performers. Leaving was hard. I figured I'd never see him again. Darrell and I exchanged addresses before I left. We promised each other to write. Well, much to my surprise, at the end of the first week, I had received 10 letters from him. For 7 months, we continued our relationship through the letters. We couldn't talk on the phone because he was aboard ship. I finally decided this is a special guy. I still didn't really believe that he would actually come 2,000 miles to see me. But then, lo and behold, he called after he got discharged. I was so excited and finally believed him. After the initial excitement wore off, fear gripped me. I remember worrying, what if we didn't feel the same way about each other as we did when we parted? After all, it was 7 months since we seen each other. I was so nervous when I heard his knock on the door. I opened the door. When we saw each other, it was obvious the feelings were still there, even more so. I guess that saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder, is true. He wanted me to move to the States right away, but of course I couldn't. I had to get my legal visa papers. It took 3 months to finalize everything. I arrived in Amarillo, Texas. Just before the plane landed, I remember fear gripping me again. What if he doesn't show up to pick me up? What was I going to do? I had no plan B. 2,000 miles away from my home. And what about his family? I never even spoke to them on the phone. What did I really know about Darrell? Not much. To make a long story short, he was there to meet me. We were so excited that finally we wouldn't be separated by all those miles. His parents were wonderful. They welcomed me into their family. His sisters, Dina and Brenda, became my best friends. I loved them dearly. Now, as I look back, I realize how God protected me. He saw this young girl in love, making risky decisions, leaving her family and friends, moving to another country to start a new life with complete strangers. What seemed like a random blind date at the time, and only 14 dates together in beautiful Hawaii resulted in a life together of 56 years.